Hello, friends, and welcome to TV is Our Real Mom. My name's Catie. This is,
I'm Dave.
and we're here to talk about the Gen Xers.
Yeah, Gen Xers on the latest season of Survivor.
Season 33, Millennials versus Gen X. Now we're going to take the older folks. Older.
Older, not
Even
old.
though I think there's some Millennials and Gen Xers are like a year or two apart.
Yeah, Ken is the youngest. He's 33.
You mean Smug McDouche?
Smug McDouche is the youngest. He's 33, and he's 1 year from... Is it Mari is 32?
Mari's 31.
31? Yeah, so pretty close.
Yeah.
So, well...
Really no difference whatsoever in their life perspectives, probably. It completely depends on their lives, not what year they were born. But okay, we'll roll with it, Survivor.
Yes. All right, so should we jump right in?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. We're going to talk about Chris first.
Okay.
What's your impression of Chris?
Well, when I first saw a picture of Chris, it was just like a headshot, and I thought he looked like a little wiener. And then when they showed him, it was just this big, huge, burly guy. And I really got a good vibe from him when he was talking. He's very soft-spoken. He seems like he's been through a lot in his life, which is what they're looking for probably when they cast the Gen Xers, people with a lot of life experience.
Mm-hmm.
But he also seems like he'll probably get along with people. Is that... Do you get that vibe?
Yeah, I think so. It depends on how he is. Like, I don't know if he is the type to sort of... Like, he sounds like he's a blue-collar kind of guy, like a hard worker. He's a lawyer.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a blue-collar, but... He seems to have a blue-collar vibe about him, but we'll see if
he can use that, even if he's not necessarily blue-collar. People aren't going to look at him and be like, lawyer.
Yeah, white-collar.
They're going to be like, football player.
Yeah. So, I don't know if he has
blue-collar.
that, like, stubborn, like, everybody's got to work, if he's going to be that guy who's like, get to work,
I don't see him being that guy. I really don't. I see him being more like mellow, which is weird to say because he's such a big, burly guy, and usually those guys...
He does say he's a strong leader. Like, he's always been the leader. He's used to being the leader. He says men are drawn to him.
That's good.
Yeah, so
you
he can rally the men. In particular, he said he wants to hang out with Surfing Santa.
A.K.A. Paul.
Paul. So he already knows, like, somebody he thinks he's going to get along with.
That's based just on looks.
Yeah, and that could be foreshadowing that it turns out he doesn't like Surfing Santa. So, like, you know what I mean? They could be, like, setting up, oh, he thought they were going to get along, and they don't. So, yeah. I don't know. I do think I'd lean more towards he's going to get along with everyone.
I think so. I don't get, like, a vibe from him. And I expected to, because of just how I prejudged him from the photograph that I saw, which was just a headshot. But, his video kind of changed my opinion of him.
Yep.
I think he has a good shot to do well.
And that's Rob's winner pick, too.
Really?
So, yeah.
So then he's not going to win.
Yeah, he's doomed.
Kiss of death.
Cool. Well, anything else about Chris? I mean, everyone thought he was a football player. In, like, all the interviews, people say, oh, I think there's an ex-football player here. And they're all
it's because they've done that so many times, so people just jump to that assumption.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's the past seasons where they've brought back athletes.
Yeah,
that's why.
And part of them is like, okay, we're not going to give it to them because they're athletes and they have a lot of money. So they're probably like already shaping that argument in their head.
Yeah, he's probably going to tell people like, I'm a lawyer, and they're going to be like, no, you're not. You're a football player.
Then you can just drop some legalese on them, and they'll be like, oh, maybe he is a lawyer.
Oh, you talk legal like, so maybe you are a lawyer. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's move on to Jessica, not Figgy. This is the actual Jessica, the real Jessica.
Okay. I'm trying to remember.
Well, she's a dairy farm. She grew up on a dairy farm. She's the youngest of 4 daughters. She's a district attorney now.
Oh, maybe she'll get along with Chris.
Maybe.
I can see that.
I could see them getting along. They look.
Maybe they'll be like
they look
lawyers
like they
that
could
butt
be
heads.
related, kind of. They both have kind of reddish blonde.
I didn't think she had red hair.
Reddish,
He's like a ginger.
They have like reddish blonde hair.
I felt like hers was more. Hers isn't so much like, oh my god, redhead. Hers is more like auburn-ish. Maybe.
Yeah, I agree.
Not that this matters, but maybe they'll get along.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Not much to say about Jessica. There's not a lot.
Yeah, she was one of the more like bland.
Yeah.
But I will say, even though she comes off as a little boring, she seems really excited to be there.
Okay, yeah.
So,
Yeah, she
good.
said she finally gets to be just Jessica because she's in all her other roles. She's sort of like she's the mom or she's the, you know, the district
Lawyer.
attorney. She's got all these labels, but she finally gets to just do her own thing and be Jessica.
She's another one who like really falls into that like Gen X thing they're looking for. Like, yeah, we didn't go on family vacations. We always worked all summer. We don't even know what vacation is. And then Chris too. He's like, my dad went to prison when I was 14 years old, and I had to become an adult. So a lot of them have that like blue collar, which is why I think it's basically blue collar, no collar.
Yeah, and
they have that vibe.
It's obvious they're being fed
hone in
they're
on.
being fed the question of what does it mean to be a Gen Xer? And
yeah.
We're not hearing them say that, but they're answering that question. And
Yep.
So it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, and so she, I think, really fits that Gen X mold that they're really looking for. And I also think she's going to be malleable. She seems like she's not going to be like a super opinionated person like this way, this way, this way. I think she'll be able to maybe just kind of get by.
For sure.
I can't see her making any baller moves, but Survivor isn't always about that. That's what we like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like what we like to watch, but it doesn't mean that's what wins.
Right.
So she could do okay, I think.
Yeah. Meh.
Okay, let's move on to Ken.
Smug McDouche.
Smug McDouche.
This is the video that made me LOL the most.
Yeah.
Just because of how, like, is this guy serious? Are we supposed to be taking him seriously?
Yeah, I guess he's for real, apparently. He's a model who lived in Hawaii, and then he found out that he had a 4.5-year-old daughter, and that brought him back to the States.
Yeah, I love how he's like, all those flings and one-night stands, those are a thing of the past. And I'm like, truly remarkable sacrifice that you made there.
Yeah.
Smug McDouche.
Smug McDouche.
He's just, the way he talks is very, I don't know if that's his actual voice or if he just like has been around so many smug people that's the inflection his voice has taken on. But I can't take a person seriously who speaks that way. Like, do you remember, like, can you do an impression of how he was talking?
No.
Oh, it was one, it was like, I decided to just go and live off the land.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he kind of has that airy kind of like voice where it's sort of soft and douchey.
Soft and douchey. You can be loud and douchey. He's got the soft and douchey thing going on.
Yeah.
And it's nice that, finding out he had a daughter made him give up something he enjoyed.
What did he enjoy?
Living in Hawaii.
Oh, living in Hawaii. Yeah.
So he came back for his daughter.
Yeah.
But when he said that maybe we'll get $1 million, the first thing his 4-year-old daughter said was, "You mean we'll have more money to help the homeless?"
Yeah.
Do you buy that?
That's BS. I don't know. I don't buy it.
The biggest load of shit I've ever heard.
Is that really what she said? Do you think so?
No.
I don't know. I'm skeptical.
He didn't say
and
that.
Maybe I'm a bad person.
He probably said,
I don't believe
"Hey,
people.
maybe we'll have more money to help the homeless." And she's like, just repeats it. And so now he put and
I don't know. Maybe kids these days we're not giving them enough credit. Maybe they can say stuff like that, like, "We can help more homeless people." It sounds a little far-fetched.
Is that his profession? Does he help homeless people? Because that was like the first mention of it that he made.
Yeah.
And so it was like,
it's a little out of left field.
Because like, what's his name? Adam from the Millenials. He works for a nonprofit, and that's something he does. This guy's a model, but he suddenly helps homeless people enough that his daughter is saying they want to help more.
Yeah, she's pretty ahead of her age there.
That didn't happen. There's no way that happened.
But yeah, he just, to me, comes across as kind of like there's quite a few people I say this about, but kind of a douche, as we said.
But I would say
kind of
he
like
comes off as the biggest douche out of all.
Yeah, he wins. He wins. But he's kind of a bit of a snake oil salesman, I think I could see him being that type of character.
You mean he'll do well? People will buy what he's selling? I don't think Chris is going to buy what this
No, I don't think he'll
selling.
be a good snake oil salesman, but he sells snake oil. He's like full of it. He's full of it, and everyone's going to see right through it.
I don't
could be wrong.
I see him being perhaps a first boot, because they got enough muscle in the other guys.
I think he's got first boot upside, for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not high on Ken.
No. All right, let's move on to Cece. She is a hardworking woman.
Yeah. Sounds like it. She's in insurance.
Works in auto insurance in the injury department.
Ooh, see, that means you got to be a little morally ambiguous, I think, to do that.
Kind of hardcore,
which
too.
will serve her well.
Yep. So she can be cutthroat.
Yeah.
She says she can read people pretty well. That's a good quality to have. I mean, maybe.
And it's something whether or not you're good at.
Yeah, I think so.
Like, it's not like saying, "Oh, I'm smart," where you're like, "Are you?" When you say you can read people well.
It might be one of those things too where everybody says they can read people. Like I would say, like, I'm a pretty good judge of people. I can look at a person, first impression, have a pretty good read on them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of people think that about themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. Maybe you're right though. Maybe it is something.
I'm trying to figure out how being in insurance would help you read people.
I guess I can't see that because you're usually on the phone with them and you're just settling claims and stuff like that.
But do you have to kind of know who you can swindle a little bit and who you can't?
Yeah, and I don't know if she's a salesperson. I think she settles claims like that. I don't think she's selling anything.
So maybe not as morally ambiguous as I was thinking.
No, I don't think.
I just hate insurance, so I assume anyone that works in insurance is a terrible person.
I do think though there's times she has to deny money to people who probably deserve it. Yeah. So you were kind of right anyways about that.
She's in the insurance industry.
Yeah. So I think she's got some cutthroat in her.
Yeah.
She's got some savviness about her.
She's got kids, so...
She's got kids.
She's probably tough.
Yeah.
She also said, reminiscent of Sydney, she said she had multiple personalities. She didn't go so far as to give them names like Sydney did. But
Sydney surprised us though by being really good.
Sydney was not like she was in her video. But anyway, she said her ex says she has multiple personalities, so maybe that's just something.
Yeah, she didn't claim to have multiple personalities. Her ex says she does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
so I don't know. Big thing that stood out to me was just like her B-roll stuff. Like I just thought it was funny. Like
what was she doing again?
She of all of the staring around tree stuff of all the people that did that, and there were a lot of them.
Yeah.
Hers was like the creepiest.
Oh really?
She was like really slow and like creepy eyes kind of. It was weird.
All right.
And she was like chasing a frog in the B-roll, like
that's
chasing
right.
it around.
She was.
And then she like caught it and she was like petting it, like, or playing with it, or like saying hi.
It must be so awkward to film those things. Like, look, a frog, something for me to do.
Yeah, hey, there you go. It was funny though. I don't know. I don't have a bad feeling about her by any means.
I don't have really a lot of feelings either way about her.
Yeah. So.
I can see her going early. I can also see her kind of sliding by.
Yeah, she could be good.
I don't know if I can see her making any of those crazy moves. But again, that's not entirely what Survivor is about.
I could see her taking some control. She seems, I get like a strong, powerful vibe from her. Like she's in control, like in her job, her career, insurance, whatever she does. You got this sense like she's used to being like a strong worker, like kind of in control.
Do we know where she's from?
No, I don't have that in my notes.
Not that it matters, but sometimes people who are from similar places bond.
Yeah.
But I'm just wondering how the gender thing's gonna play out, because if Chris says guys are drawn to him, I'm wondering if there's gonna be a bro down in the Gen X tribe. But there's really not a lot of other I don't see Ken and Chris getting along.
There's always the threat, or I don't know if threat's the right word, but there's always the possibility is probably better. There's always the possibility of there being a male-female alliance thing, like...
It's usually pretty good probability.
It's always a possibility.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like I see Chris being drawn more to someone like Cece than someone like Ken.
Although he says he's used to bonding with men and men are drawn to him, so...
Yeah, but look at the men he's working with.
Yeah, I mean...
So far.
You don't think he'll like Brett? Chris and Brett?
Maybe.
Maybe they'll butt heads as alpha males.
Maybe.
Ram horns.
Yeah, we'll get to him.
Yeah. Anyways, let's move on.
Yeah.
Next we got David, who is I think he's a writer. He wrote for Family Guy, which is cool. I'm a fan of Family Guy still to this day. I know a lot of people say it sucks now, but I still... It's hit or miss. I think it's funny. Mm-hmm. It's funny enough of the time to keep me watching because I know it's going to get me to laugh.
At least once an episode.
At least a couple times an episode, which is all I can really ask for.
Yeah.
So, But yeah, so he's kind of a anxiety-ridden character. Like, well, this is self-described. He's very put together and eloquent speaking when he's on the interview.
Yeah.
But from what he tells us, he's an anxious person. He's a bit neurotic. So that's the kind of character I guess we can expect him to be.
He seems like one of those Seinfeld, like, B characters. You know what I mean? Like someone Jerry would have encountered in one of his many New York adventures.
Like what kind of character would
I don't know, just someone he had like a
someone he likes or someone he doesn't like?
Maybe someone he got along with, but also someone that did something really weird and pissed Jerry off.
He's like a quirk.
Yeah. That's usually how Seinfeld goes.
That's interesting.
But anyway, I just worry about him, like, physically. Because, maybe physically is the wrong way. Mentally, too. Because he said, like, the outdoors is not something he does. And he might just be such a shock to him.
Yeah, he said he's only been camping once, and it was like 20 years ago.
Obviously, when he was like a teenager or something.
Yeah. And
so
that's not good.
I mean, you've seen city people do fine out there.
Well, I mean,
figure it out.
I think the best example is Cochran.
Right.
He hates all that stuff. He is openly, admittedly, like a nervous wreck. Like he wants to avoid people and stay inside, and he takes Ubers everywhere because he's afraid of driving. Like Cochran is very not your typical survivor, but he did pretty well. Because he was a fan of the game. So I think sometimes just knowing what you're in for, knowing what you need to do, knowing how you can play the game can help you, and that's how hopefully David will be like Cochran in that sense.
Might there be like a learning kid? Yeah, because Cochran 1.0
not so
didn't work so well with all those other people.
Yeah, they didn't really like him that much.
But he was also with a lot of dicks. Yeah. But I also see a few potential
dicks
in this group too.
Yeah.
Not really, actually. I mean, there's the one on this tribe.
How's he gonna fit? That's kind of what you gotta wonder. You know, how's he?
Yeah, I mean, as a writer. Well, what does that mean? Anyone can be a writer.
I think he'll come across as a nice guy, and nice guys tend to either get cut right away or, they'll last because people are like, yeah, I like that guy. I can see
something along the lines of he screws up in a challenge, and they're like, well, it's early on in the game. They're like, well, he doesn't help in challenges because look at all the other guys. And so they get rid of him for that reason.
Yeah.
And he's just doesn't have anything to do with how good he is at the game. It's just...
Yeah, they might not give him a chance to be a strategic person. Because, I mean, how useful is a strategic person in the team part of the game?
It's more dangerous than useful.
It's not that useful.
Yeah.
So
you got to keep the strategery to a minimum at the early part of the game.
Yes. So, yeah, I'd like to see him go far so we can see if, like, some of his super fan... Obviously, we've talked about this a million times, drawn to the cerebral, nerdy types.
Yeah.
Like to see how they...
Well, he also seems like he'd be really good at describing. Like, he'd have really good confessionals. And you don't get a lot of that. So I feel like he'd be a valuable person to keep around for that reason.
Like, for us. Entertainment purposes.
Not for them.
Yeah.
But just to, like, describe what's going on.
So what's your feeling on him? Good, bad?
I don't know. Like, I can see him getting clipped early, but I can also see him, if he makes it past,
being a strategic.
Up to the first SWAT, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I'd have to say he falls into the totally depends category, like most people do. But
yeah. There's some people, though, that they're going to place a certain way every time they play. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right in the middle of the pack or first boot upside.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, we can move on to Rachel. She is a former Playboy model of, I think she's of Asian descent of some kind. Very attractive. She wrote a book. I guess she didn't write her own book. She was one of 8 authors on a book about...
she doesn't... I was going to say,
overcoming adversity to rise to success.
Doesn't seem like the brightest bulb in the light fixture.
She comes off a little ditzy, but I mean, when your career path has been in Playboy, I think you don't have much pushing you to grow beyond being a ditzy Playboy model. So she hasn't
like,
had
I'm very comfortable in bikinis.
Yeah, of course she is.
You gotta have that girl on the show.
Yeah.
You do.
It's just part of... I mean, I'm sure there's viewers who still tune in just to look at people half naked. So.
Yeah. I'm sure there are.
So they gotta have that. But she seems relatively sweet, I guess, but that could just be a bad read.
Facade. I mean, if you're like a model, you have to come off when you go on, what do they call them?
Tours?
No, when you go to get booked or whatever.
Oh.
You have to be personable.
Come on, it's like really bubbly and sweet and yeah. So she's got that going for her, which is nice.
Got that going for her.
She said sexiness is how you carry yourself, which is, I believe that's true.
Yeah.
So I guess she'll carry herself sexily.
She'll carry herself like she's probably carried herself her whole life.
Yeah, exactly.
Which has worked out for her. And as she was doing in the video, just kind of prancing about.
In her boob showing clothing.
Yeah, well, yep.
That's what she's there for,
That's
probably.
That's kind of what she's there for. I mean, I don't have a lot to say about her other than that.
Yeah, tough to say much else. She's got first boot upside, I think.
Yeah.
Because don't you think a lot of people will be like, oh, there's not much there.
It depends on if she's physically capable.
we don't know how she's going to be athletically in the challenges.
Like, is she, like, fit? Or is she just, like, look fit?
And this obviously these are surface level judgments because like what if she's like I'm really good at puzzles, guys, and they stick her on the puzzles and she's just an ace.
Yeah,
you never know. Like
she could be a puzzle master.
Yeah, so I could see her too though, like being like a liability in the challenges, and also like people are like, oh, she's kind of a ditz. Like I don't know if there's much for her to offer us there.
Yeah.
So. She's got a little bit of first boot upside, I feel like.
Yeah, of the girls, I'd say she probably does the most.
Yeah. She did call out one guy who she said was a jerk. She's like, normally I like to give people a chance, but this one guy, I'm pretty sure my first impression is right. He's an asshole. But I don't know who
to me, no one else had to go out of their way and say that. So do you really like to give people the benefit of the doubt?
No. But who's she talking about? I don't know.
Probably Smug.
In
which case she's probably right.
Everyone seems to think it's Paul. Like everyone's talking about.
Who says that?
I don't know. I was listening to Rob and whoever was saying Paul. Nicole, yeah, said everyone hates Paul, apparently.
Yeah, but she gave no indication that that's who she was talking about.
I know. But yeah.
She was talking about Smug McDouche,
I think you're right.
Words.
Like she was like, this guy.
Like Paul, I don't know. Maybe Paul does come off as an asshole. We haven't gotten him yet.
I think he's abrasive. He's that kind of like, we'll get to Paul, but yeah. I'll tuck that away till we get to Paul, I guess.
Okay.
Well, he's next.
Oh, he is next, okay.
So let's just move on to Paul.
All right.
Okay. Paul is surfing Santa. He's a big, burly, kind of rock star. Not really a rock star. He plays in a band.
He has a rock band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like a bar band.
Bar band, yeah.
And he's a treasure hunter. They go and...
It doesn't sound to me like he's so much a treasure hunter as he's a scavenger.
Yeah.
Like once people leave spring break, they just go and take their stuff.
Their watches.
I don't call that a treasure hunter. It's not like he's Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones isn't even a treasure hunter, but it's not like he's looking for some long lost relic.
Yeah, he's not looking for the Ark of the Covenant.
No, he's looking for like Juicy Couture headband or something.
Yeah, or some Beats headphones. Those probably wouldn't work good when they were underwater, under sand.
No, they're not necessarily underwater, right?
Maybe in the sand, yeah.
Whatever.
Or just lying on top.
That sounds like the worst thing in the world. Like that is the last place I would want to go, was like the remnants of a spring break. Like God knows what kind of diseases and
syringes,
nasty stuff. Like I would never.
If they end up making good money off of it, I'd do it. Who knows? So yeah, their family travels in an RV. Like they just travel the United States and live out of an RV.
Yeah, homeschools as kids, or did. Are they older now?
Yep, that's true. But yeah, he does come off as a little bit of that like strong alpha male, but like almost to a chauvinistic extent, where he's sort of abrasive and my way or the highway kind of guy. Probably.
He claims that he's just a big teddy bear underneath it all.
Yeah. Probably loud and boisterous and funny. He's probably really funny, but also probably very stubborn and...
Yeah, he has no time for millennials.
Yeah, he seems to go off on them quite a bit.
Yeah, he judges them as people who everyone gets a participation trophy. Yeah. And he has no time for that. So if he were to make it to emerge, I don't know. He'd probably be like, we're all sticking together. And then you're going to have those devious people.
They're going to go
we're
to
not
the
sticking together.
Paul.
Write down Paul.
Yeah.
So, and then here's what I didn't like about Paul the most. He did an interview. One of his interviews was with Josh Wigler. And Josh Wigler said, what kind of Survivor player do you want to be like or something? And he said, Andrew Savage.
And didn't you say he said Andrew Savage deserved to win or something? Which is like, no, he didn't.
What show were you watching? Andrew Savage was a nut job a-hole.
I mean, at the same time, too, Andrew Savage in his first season is kind of like the all-American, like good guy hero, sort of like do things by the book. He's not like
kind of a deep cut.
He's not
referring to last season.
Sure, maybe. He's not Andrew Savage is not a backstabbing kind of player. He's like a play by the book
guy.
Yeah.
And the reason he said, he's like, Andrew Savage got voted out by a bunch of dumb kids doing dumb shit. And I'm like, I feel like he's just going to have this bias against young people, aka millennials.
Yeah.
When the Andrew Savage move was baller and one of the most amazing parts of that season, I thought. Mm-hmm. Second chances I'm talking about, not the first time he played.
Yeah.
But, so I think he's got a real built-in bias against the millennials, so.
Sure, yep, I could see that. Like Jeff says, what do you guys think of the millennials? And Paul's like, it's us against them, like, screw those kids.
I always think back to, I don't remember exactly what they said, but when they interview white collar, blue collar, no collar, and they just all embrace their collar so much and, like, talk smack about the other ones.
Yeah, like we're free spirits, we're no collar, and like we work hard, we're blue collar. Yeah, they all buy it. And then white collar is just like they have free reign to be pretentious, basically, because they're.
That's another thing where the social experiment comes in. Like if you didn't give these tribes names, and you just ask them generally how they feel, is that what they would say?
Totally different.
Probably not.
Yeah.
It's planted. It's like Inception. They planted the ideas in their head.
Yep, and it just takes, and it lasts through the whole season.
But if you're a good player, you won't let that sway you from making a potentially good move just because it doesn't align with what the millennials or the Gen Xers want.
Right.
And again, those labels, they're not going to last.
They do. I do think they carry through some people subtly. Yeah.
For some people.
Yeah, it lingers.
Yeah.
Through the whole season, and otherwise they wouldn't do it anymore. They wouldn't have themes. I don't think.
I guess that's true.
Well, also the themes are just interesting.
Well, it's just it's a hook.
Yeah, it hooks
to
you
get people to watch the new season.
Yep. It works. It's good.
Like we're gonna divide people by race.
Not the best idea in the world.
No, but I did like that
Good season though, yeah. All right, well, let's move on to Sunday.
Oof.
Sunday is a breast cancer survivor. She's a mom of a few.
She's got a brood.
Yeah, she's from...
She sounds like her sons are kind of jerks.
Yeah,
they're like, Mom, you can't do that. Like, and her mom, and they don't like to hang out with her.
They won't miss her.
I'm like, your sons are kind of garbage.
Well, that's boys will be boys, And she's from Minnesota. She's got a really strong Minnesotan accent.
Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. I hope she gets eliminated first just so I don't have to listen to it.
I hope ours don't sound that bad.
Well, we're from North Dakota, first of all.
But, I mean, I lived in Minnesota for a long time.
You don't have a Minnesota accent.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Let us know in the comments if we sound Minnesotan.
They could probably...
Or North Dakota.
They can tell.
They can pick up on something, but it's not like Sunday.
Yes, Sunday.
Who's got 4 boys, and they just, they don't care. No, but she doesn't have all boys. She has daughters, too.
Yeah.
I don't know how many kids she has.
Several.
They probably sound just as annoying as she does.
Yeah. So she's a hardcore Christian, it sounds like.
Her name's Sunday. I wonder if that's...
Wait, she said she's like a pastor or something, or like some kind of church profession.
Yeah.
Married to a pastor.
I don't remember.
I think her profession is something religious.
Yeah.
So, lots of millennials were Christian.
There, she's got something to bond with the millennials over. But I honestly don't see her making it.
Can she get past the first vote? That's the question.
I really doubt it.
She's self-proclaimed quirky and weird. She said, I say weird things. Which is like, I feel that way about myself, but there's never a good way to say that. Like, just so you know, I say weird things. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I feel like if you say, I say weird things.
It's like, you don't have to say it. Just say weird things.
Yeah.
We'll pick that up.
Yeah.
She said people tell her she's quirky. I can't help but wonder if the little bit she's gotten to interact with the other contestants, if they got to interact at all, because I think sometimes they sort of get like a little bit of banter.
Mm-hmm.
If people like told her that she's quirky and.
I don't think any of this bunch would have told her she's quirky.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It'd be a bad idea, right?
No.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know where I got that idea from. Sorry. Anyways.
She didn't seem that quirky to me, but again, we'll see.
Yeah, I think she's got strong first boot upside.
She does, even maybe more so than Rachel, because I don't see her being as much of an asset in challenges, but I've been wrong about those people before.
But yeah, I think she could, get in some sort of alliance and go make it to the end and be sort of a neat lady,
Lisa Welchel maybe too?
Yeah.
Monica
I think that's who
Culpepper.
she said her favorite player is, Lisa Welch.
Shocking.
Yeah, shocker.
That's shocking.
Total
That
shocker.
she would pick her.
Yeah.
I'm blown away.
But I don't think she can win the game, but
No.
yeah.
See, this is what I like, how the millennials who have the religious aspect are like not afraid to like go against maybe some of the teachings in the Bible and be a little cutthroat. I don't know if I get that same vibe from her.
Yeah, she didn't really say that.
That was where Lisa's tears came in.
Yeah.
Because she felt bad betraying
She felt morally
her faith or herself.
In the game, she felt morally conflicted.
Yeah.
And granted, I think everybody doesn't expect how hard it actually is when you're in that, because you get close to people on the first day. Mm-hmm. You spend a whole day with these people.
It's like, here, go bond more intensely with a group of people than you ever have before in your life, and then cut them loose.
Yeah. So
and then on top of that, you're starving and exhausted.
So it's extremely tougher than anyone expects.
Yeah.
And, but some people are just better at sort of going with it. She doesn't seem to me like that person.
I'm not sure she's going to be able to go with it.
She'll be a loyal person, whoever she's aligned with from the start.
Yeah.
That's who she'll be with, but she probably won't be there long, I don't think.
Know.
Yeah.
I don't think so either.
Okay, moving on to Lucy, the bodybuilder. She's she recently became a bodybuilder. Yep, she was born in Taiwan, grew up in a traditional Chinese family. They moved to Brazil and then America.
They owned a restaurant.
Their family owned a restaurant. She said it's like the cliche Asian thing or something.
Yeah.
They own a restaurant, and she's been working since she was a little kid. So there's another one of those who falls into that. I've been working hard since I was 5 years old. And
what is her profession now? She's just a bodybuilder?
I believe.
She doesn't have the physique that Sydney had, but she still looks really
pretty
good.
Jacked, yeah.
And she's probably going to be strong and challenging.
Maybe she does have another profession. We just forgot to jot it down. But
maybe.
Bodybuilder was the one that came up. So,
they usually just pick one, unless you're Debbie.
Yeah, Debbie had a lot of jobs.
Yeah. Which ones were real?
She had Red Lobster. That's the only one I can remember.
I don't remember. I already forgot.
She's like a biologist, like lab biologist.
A scientist, a server, a
model. She said she did some modeling.
A helper to nuns.
Yep.
She had lots of jobs.
Yeah, lots of jobs for Debbie. But yeah, Lucy, she talked quite a bit about millennials, her thoughts on millennials. They must have fed her that question, and she went off on it. Only thing I wrote down is that she said millennials don't have good instincts. I don't know why I wrote that.
What an odd generalization to make.
I think
this whole generation of people does not have good instincts.
I think I paraphrased it though.
No, I think that's what she said.
But paraphrase wise, that's what she said roughly.
From what I remember.
Yeah. They don't have good instincts. I can't remember what she said.
Yeah. I don't either. But she has 4 kids. So.
Yep, wants to represent the moms out there, she said. So.
You've got a few moms on. I think they're all moms.
Is she the one that said she wants to be the first Pacific Island Asian American to ever win the game? Something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Has there really not been?
Not that specific.
Oh,
that
okay.
very specific.
That's very specific, yeah.
But that's what she wants.
Okay.
How do you feel about her?
I feel like I want to see more of how she works mentally. I didn't get a great read on how intelligent she is. Mm-hmm. From that, I feel like she's She comes off as smarter than, like, Rachel, maybe. But I don't know where her intelligence level is, which would take some time to figure that out. I feel like she's probably going to be really good in challenges, and so that'll keep her around for at least the early part of the game.
Yeah, I mean...
Depends on if she's abrasive or if she rubs people the wrong way.
Yeah. Whether it's fair or not, you're going to see the guys get together and be like, you know, Lucy's really strong in challenges.
Yeah.
Just because she's, like, a bodybuilder.
Right.
You know, that's such the total misconception in Survivor as far as challenge strength is that the bigger you are, the
Do you
more...
think that means they'll want to get rid of her or they'll want to keep her?
They'll want to keep her.
Oh, okay.
Whether that's true or not, that she's going to be useful in challenges, sometimes it has nothing to do with how much muscle you have.
Right.
You do need one. I feel like you always need one big, strong guy. But other than that, strength in challenges does not boil down to how much muscle you have.
No, it certainly doesn't.
It pretty much comes
depends
down
on
to effort and skill.
effort and skill.
Like,
yeah.
are you the kind of, like, are you more like Ozzy, where you could do anything and you're going to try really hard at it? You know, that's challenges.
Yeah.
That's how you're good at challenges. Anyways, Lucy, maybe.
Maybe.
Win? Can you win?
No. I'm going to go with no on that one. What about you?
No.
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 Doesn't even hesitate.
Yep.
That's just a straight up no.
I just don't think so.
No.
Excuse me. All right. Finally, we're on to our last Gen Xer. And it's Brett, the police sergeant from Boston.
Always got to have someone from Boston.
God forbid we have a season without someone from Boston.
It's unacceptable to do that in Survivor.
Who was our Bostonite last season?
A bunch of girls.
Michelle.
Michelle and Julia were all from the Boston area.
Yeah. I don't think there was like our typical
Actually,
Boston.
Michelle was from Jersey. But
Jersey.
I think both Aubrey and
was Boston. Yeah.
Julia were from Boston.
Yep. No cliche Boston guy last year, I don't think.
No. So we're due.
We're due, yeah.
Yeah.
And here's Brett.
Here he is. Not only is he from Boston, he's a police sergeant. So,
so
let's up the cliche factor as much as we can.
So Tony meets Boston Rob, I guess.
Don't give this guy that kind of credit. Don't even.
I don't know. I like this guy.
I don't.
You don't like him?
No.
I like him.
I don't. What do you like about him?
I don't know. It's like, I think it's the fact that he's a fan of the show.
Yeah.
So, like, certain people who are, you wouldn't expect them to be Survivor fans.
And then they are.
And then they're fans. It's, like, going to be fun to watch them. Also, I get the sense, like, he's going to have good interview stuff. Like, he's kind of like a card. He's funny.
Oh, okay,
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's gonna be kind of making fun of people.
That'd be good.
He does
we
seem
need that.
like he seems like the kind of cop that, you know, his eyes up, observing people. Like, he'll look around the room, boom, boom, boom. So he makes
gonna be
good judgments.
A little bit like Derek.
Yeah,
Do you think he'll tell people that he's a cop?
I think he will. I don't think he'll.
It's gonna be pretty
take
hard
it
to
so
hide.
Seriously, like where it's like, oh, they're gonna want to get rid of me because I'm a cop. I don't think anyone.
I mean, to be fair,
Tony,
and then Derek from Big Brother. I mean,
that's it.
All yeah, but those guys, like, it was enough.
Domination.
I'd be like, bye.
Yeah,
You're
true.
A cop? Oh, bye.
True. Yeah, he says he's got a good read on if people are lying or not.
Yeah.
So that could be useful, definitely, if he can actually. But you can't tell if people are lying in Survivor. Not unless they're
really bad
at it. Yeah.
And there are some of those.
But there's some really good liars, and you cannot tell
right
if they're lying.
I feel like there's gonna be more good liars on the millennial side. I feel like these guys. I bet David will be good.
Open books.
Yeah.
Think Zeke's a good liar.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure.
Maybe Chris. I don't know.
I wrote that.
He's a lawyer.
Yeah.
Good liar.
Yeah. I wrote that he wants to win.
Oh boy, well then, let's put him up at the top of the list.
Stop the presses.
he wants it, you guys. He wants it.
But yeah, it always helps to know that they want it bad. It's not just like, oh, I'm here to be on TV. And
sometimes though, those people say that at the beginning, and there's someone that 2 weeks in, they're like, I can't do it.
I can't do it. I quit.
I can't do it.
Yeah, that's true.
Because everybody wants it before the game's even begun.
Mm-hmm.
It's when you're 2 weeks in and you're soaked and your socks are wet and your skin's all pruny and you've got 8,000 bug bites.
And you're
do you
starving.
want it as bad then?
Yeah, and you're paranoid
and you can't poop.
Lots.
Or you can't stop pooping.
Yeah, lots of problems.
God, Survivor's terrible. Why would anybody do it?
I don't know. It's fun to watch, though.
It's fun to sit back and judge from my comfy couch.
Absolutely. All right. Just wrote that. Yeah, we talked about how he kind of can observe people and make judgments. He did mention a couple people. He said he thought Chris. He's like, I think there's a ex-football player here.
He could be talking about Paul too. They're both giants.
Well, he called out Paul separately.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
What did he say about Paul?
He said he kind of looks like this lead singer from Motley Crue meets something else. Like, okay. Yeah. So, I guess he judged him that he said lead singer from Motley Crue. Good judgment call, right? Guy is a lead singer in a rock band.
That's true. Not Motley Crue.
Yeah, no, but he was on point.
He was on point there. Do you think that he's another kind of bigger alpha male? Do you think he's going to get along with like Chris and Paul, or do you think there's going to be division amongst those three?
I see those guys getting along.
Where does that leave Smug McDouche and Neurotic David?
Well, Smug McDouche is out.
Yeah, Smug McDouche is out.
He's right out.
Yeah.
David, they're going to be like, David's nice.
Yeah.
Keep him for a little bit.
Yeah.
Get rid of the women. Yeah.
God dang, why does it always come to that?
They might be chauvinist. Borderline. We'll see. I
hate when Survivor borders on uncomfortable, real, and we have to talk about these things. You know what I mean? I mean, it's important too, like with the Alicia bullying stuff last year and
stuff like that comes up. It's going to.
But it's really nice when you have a season where it just doesn't.
It just doesn't come up. But yeah, it's probably not right of me to assume they're going to be chauvinists. Yeah, that the alpha males, by aligning, they're going to be chauvinists. Maybe they'll just not see those lines.
Maybe they won't get along. Maybe one will be chauvinist and one will be like, hey man, don't be such a dick.
Or you can always have alpha males who are just competing for territory. Yeah. Like Tony and LJ, like very territorial.
Is that when we look back on Cagayan, was Tony's nemesis really LJ?
LJ was good. LJ was moving.
It just seems like
I liked
such
LJ.
Nothing compared to Tony.
Yeah, well, LJ just got. If he could have gotten Tony first somehow, LJ probably would have been okay.
Yeah, well, no one got Tony. So.
Anyways, you could see alpha males butting heads territorial style and I'm
curious to see which way it's gonna go.
Yeah, and then you still have 5 women. Maybe all 5 women are strong and they get rid of Ken, and then they have the numbers. Women Alliance.
I don't think, as much as I dislike Smug McDouche, I don't think Ken would be the way. If the women want to stick together,
I don't think he'd
be the one to get rid of.
Unless
you want to get rid of one of those big guys.
Unless he really comes across like the way they edited Vetus in Second Chances.
Creepy. And he can make people feel super uncomfortable.
Maybe he'll be that guy. I don't know. We'll see. Anywho, that's it for Gen Xers. I suppose we have to make predictions.
Putting both tribes together?
Yeah.
Who do you feel the best about on the Gen X tribe?
Best and worst on Gen X first, and then predictions?
Yeah.
Okay, best feeling on this tribe, probably... Damn, that's tough. This tribe is tough.
I feel like the Millenials are stronger.
Yeah. God, I don't know. Do you have one? I would probably lean towards Chris or Brett.
I would lean Chris.
Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good feeling about Chris.
Good feeling about Chris.
I got a good feeling about Brett, too, I think.
Yeah. No, I don't, but it's fine that you do.
Yeah, Chris. We can agree on Chris then.
Yeah.
And then bad feeling about Ken. Like, not going to do well, or bad feeling about Sunday.
I'm going to go with Sunday. Yeah. I mean, sometimes those Reynolds-type guys, they just go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As much as I hate it.
They're good in challenges.
Yeah.
Maybe they can actually schmooze people.
If they find a band of douches, they can, ride that for a while. I don't know. Yeah. I don't see a lot of other douches here, though.
And maybe...
The thing I like about Chris is that before he speaks, it's not what you... What comes out of his mouth isn't what you expect.
Yeah.
But like Paul and Brett, it's like what I expect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure. Yep. So Sunday. Bad feeling.
Yeah. Sunday. Okay. Sunday.
So do you want to make winner picks? I haven't really decide.
Well, let's do
This
it.
is gonna be a random pick for me because I haven't. Really
It can't
thought
be any
about
worse than
Yeah.
Liz and Peter for me. That's what I did last year.
Oof. Did I pick Liz? Oh, you picked Liz and Peter.
You picked Neil, and who was your girl pick? Someone that went home pretty early.
Jen, right?
Oh yeah, she went home second.
Yeah.
That was worse than me.
Not good. Not good.
You know, Neil would have won that season.
He would have, according to him. All right. So.
Okay, we gotta pick someone. It's got. It's gotta be a millennial.
Do you want to do a guy, girl, or do you want to do a?
No, let's just do one.
Just one. Okay. You want to go first?
Do you have someone in mind?
No, there's gonna be some dead air here. While we
I'm going now. I've decided this is different than what I said yesterday. When we did the millennials.
Yep.
But I'm gonna pick Zeke to win it all.
Wow, that's a good pick. I almost want to pick him.
Zeke
I want to pick him
for
too.
For the W.
Zeke is a good pick. I kind of want to pick Mari, but I don't want to be the same.
That's a good pick.
I don't want to be the same as Nicole.
Well, Nicole's good. She makes right picks sometimes.
She's right often.
Are you picking it because she picked it, or are you picking it because you feel good about Mari?
I do feel good about Mari. But I also don't want to pick a millennial either.
Why? You are a millennial.
I don't know. I like some of the Gen Xers. Maybe I'll just be weird. Doesn't matter. I'm just going to pick Brett.
All right.
Yeah.
He's Bostonians have a good track record.
They do. That's
really good track record.
Pretty much all I'm basing this on. Boston's track record.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's it. Thanks for watching. We will do a episode recap after week 1. That's September
21st, 1 week from, I don't know when this is being posted, but as of recording day, it's 2 weeks from tomorrow. So.
Cool. All right, well, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.